Hello friends, how are you? Welcome to the Pan Study Center. Today we are going to see the chapter of geography and what is our topic today? Types of ecosystem. There is the most important here. Types of ecosystem here. The ecosystem can be classified into the various types on various bases. The various basis is important here. The most widely used as a simple classification on the basis of habitats. The idea is behind this is a classification is that each is a habitus exhibit is a particularly physical environmental condition, and this condition determine their nature and characteristics of the biotic communities, and therefore there are a perpetual variation in the biotic communities. On this basis, the ecosystem can be broadly be divided as the terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. These ecosystems are further subdivided into the various subtypes. We will be discuss a brief about the two ecosystem and their subtypes. There is an important here the types of ecosystem here. The first here terrestrial ecosystem. There is a most important terrestrial ecosystem. As the name of suggests, is a cover the entire 29% of the land area found on the earth surface. The terrestrial ecosystem are the major source of food and the raw materials for human beings. Here the plant and animal communities are more diversified than the aquatic ecosystem. The land organism have a greater range of the tolerance than the aquatic ecosystem. But in some cases, water is a limiting factor for terrestrial ecosystem. As far as productivity is concerned, a terrestrial ecosystem are more productivity than aquatic ecosystem. The important terrestrial ecosystem here. The verb set to discussion is the comparison between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem in a generally. But there are further variation in the terrestrial ecosystem in the term of physical condition, and there is response to the biotic communities. Therefore, the terrestrial ecosystem are further subdivided into various subtypes. The major subtypes are upland or mountain ecosystem, the lowland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, etc. And these subsystems may be a further subdivided depending on the specific purpose, and the objectives is a maximum the life form are found in the lowland, and they keep on the decreasing with increasing in a high as the level of oxygen and atmospheric pressure decrease. There is important here. The second here, aquatic ecosystem. The aquatic ecosystem is the most important here. This ecosystem refer to the 71% of the water present on the earth's surface in the various form. There is an important point here. The ecosystem refer to the 71% of the water present on the earth's surface in the various form. Like a terrestrial ecosystem, aquatic ecosystem can be further divided into the various subtypes. But the major subdivision of this ecosystem may be fresh water, estuarian, and marine. Again, this ecosystem can be further subdivided into the small one. If we see the in terms of the extent or what we call in the geographics in the term of scale, it is a range from open sea to a small pond. The variation between the various type of aquatic ecosystems are mainly related to the abiotic factor. The abiotic factor is the most important here, but there are also variation in the term of biotic communities that are living within this ecosystem. And why are this variation here? The important question here. As I discussed earlier, the limiting factor is aquatic ecosystem are the depth up to which the sunlight can be penetrate, the availability of the nutrient, and the concentration is a dissolved oxygen. If we keep all these factors into the considerations, it is the form that is a extraneous ecosystem and the most productivity of aquatic ecosystem. In a marine, through the open oceans are a most the extensive is the area. There is important here in a marine ecosystem, shallow continental shallow there is a more productivity than one open ocean, and through the open ocean are the most extensive in area. They are the least productivity of all ecosystem like the desert. It is a terrestrial ecosystem. There is an important point. The another aspect, which is the determinant of diversity of life in aquatic ecosystem, is the adaptability of organism. Some of the organisms exclusively live in a water, namely the fishes, and whereas some of the organisms are the amphibious in a nature. Some of the important amphibians are frog, crocodile, hippopotamus, and the variety of aquatic birds. Again, with the water, some organisms live only in either fresh water, saline, and water. Some organisms live in the both fresh water and saline water. Hisha fish is on the example of the latter types. The endoderms and the colostrate lives only in the saline water, and there are various types of fishes like rohu, katla, etc. found on in a fresh water. There is a most important example here.